Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So far, we nearly talked about every topic in Python. So in order to improve our skills and exploit full functionality of Python, we are now going to learn about its libraries. You can extend Python's functionality using its internal or external libraries. Built-in or internal libraries provide you many tools that you can use in your projects, like file system manipulation, date and time functions, and math operations. Today we are going to talk about the most important ones here, and you will learn how to use them in a few examples. Let's get started. So first, what are libraries? Libraries are essential tools in software development consisting of pre-written code, functions, or resources that developers can leverage to streamline and accelerate the creation of applications. They can be categorized into two main types: built-in libraries, which are included as part of a programming language standard distribution, such as Python's math or datetime libraries, and external libraries, which are developed by third parties and can be installed later to extend functionality like NumPy or TensorFlow. Libraries save developers time and effort, allowing them to focus on building unique features rather than reinventing the wheel. The import keyword in programming, particularly in languages like Python, serves as a powerful mechanism for incorporating both built-in and external models into your current script, enabling developers to access a wide range of pre-existing functionalities without writing code from scratch. By using the import statement, you can bring an entire model into your program, such as import math, which grants access to all mathematical functions and constants defined within the math module. Alternatively, you can import specific components for more efficient memory usage, like from math import sqrt, which allows you to use only the square root function without loading the entire module. For cases where multiple items are needed, you can import them by separating them with commas, such as from math import sine, cos, and tan, giving you access to trigonometric functions in one line. Import keyword offers versatile ways to integrate libraries into your script, enhancing code efficiency and readability through techniques like aliasing, bulk imports, or importing entire model contents. Using the S keyword, you can create aliases to shorten model names, such as import numpy as MP, which allows you to reference the extensive numpy library with a concise, user-friendly prefix, making your code cleaner and faster to write. While it's possible to import all contents of a module using from math import asterisk, this approach is generally discouraged because it can clutter the namespace and lead to naming conflicts, potentially making the code harder to debug. You can also import all of the libraries you need in one line, like import os sys math. Here, comma separates them and you can make your code shorter. So, how you can use them in the code? In example, let's assume that you have imported two libraries, math and numpy. Numpy as MP, and from math import sqrt and pi. For using a component in math library, since you have directly imported them, their names are same as they imported, and you can in example use sqrt to access sqrt. But it's different for numpy. Since you have imported it as MP, you must use MP, and you can access its parts using dot. In example, mp.array here in this statement creates an array and assigns it to array variable. Let's see in real code examples how we can use them. So everyone, let's start with OS. OS library allows you to interact with the operating system directly from Python. You can perform tasks like file and folder operations, accessing environment variables, and working with file paths. Let's see the examples. Type import OS. So OS library. Let's start by listing all the files and folders in our current directory. So just type print os.list there. So in order to indicate current directory, you can use dot. Of course, since we are going to provide a string, we'll use quotes and inside it dot. Dot means current working directory and current working directory and run it. This is my current directory, including Python files and an image, folders, etc. The ones without an extension are folders here. Let's create a new folder after that. Let's use os.mkey here inside quotes new folder. So name it as new folder and let's print directory again. And it's before and this one is after. You can see the difference here. So new folder appears in the list here. So it has been created. Let's also see how to safely join file paths. You can use path.join from OS. It will prevent you from adding slashes manually to build file paths. Hence, it takes care of operating system differences automatically. That means it will use backslashes on Windows and forward slash on Linux or macOS. So let's use it. In example, in my files folder, I have a file named log.txt. So I can use path, a variable here, os.path. Path is a module and join is a function from the OS library. Files and log.txt. So build path safely, print path. Code before, I will just make it a comment and this one too. And let's run it again. Okay, so our path is files /log.txt. This output is from this one. We can also make it a comment. And here, as you can see. Now, let's also see how to access environment variables. Environment variables contains critical informations. In example, system's path environment variable contains the directories the OS looks into to find executable programs. It's really helpful when configuring development environments or working with subprocesses. An example, Python. You can access Python from your command line, but without adding it to path, you cannot. So let's make these comments and type it. Print os.environ, so it's a variable in OS library dot get. Which variable you are going to get is path. So if you print it, you can see many of my executables here, which I configured since I installed Windows on this computer. Next one is datetime library. It is your go-to tool for working with dates and times in Python. Whether you need to get the current time, format a date, or calculate differences between 2 points in time, this module has everything you need. So let's start by printing current time. You can use from datetime, import datetime. Sometimes you directly import a library, sometimes you use only the tools you need for currently. So it's used to import the datetime class from the datetime module, which is part of Python's standard library. The datetime module provides classes for working with dates and times, and the datetime class is one of these specifically designed to handle both date and time information. Now let's print current time. Just type datetime dot. Now you run this, you can get the current time. This prints the exact current date and time when the code runs, something like this output, and you can use it to timestamp logs, record events, or simply keep track of when something happened in your program. You can also get it and format it. So let's just type current time and assign it to a variable, say today, and remove this parenthesis. You can print it like this. Today dot careful. It's an instance of the class since you can use many of its functions. In example, strf time. So this function will help you to format a date into a custom string. So you can just type as you want. In example, %d slash %m slash %year. And if you run it, you can see it's only now useful for dates, not for time. So you can find a list of this. An example, if you type lowercase y instead of uppercase y, you will only get the last 2 digits of the year. So everyone, it's formatting. And let's also see how we can add time using time delta. So we saved today in this variable. And let's also calculate next week. So create a variable named next week equals today plus time delta. But first you need to import it from datetime. So just add time delta here. You can import multiple classes from a library by using commas, as you know. Inside time delta, you can type days, seconds, etc. I will use days equals 7. I will print next week. You can see we added 7 days and just formatted similarly next week. Now it's more clear, 22 and 29. Okay, let's remove this and assume that you have a date string, so it's 22 slash 6 2025, and you want to convert it to a date time. You have to use strp time, so let's use it. Date equals datetime dot strp time, and provide today as the parameter. And in which format you want, just use something you have used in strp time. I will type percent lowercase d, percent m, and percent uppercase y. So I want in day, month, year format, and print date. So now everybody, it's in datetime format and turned into a datetime object using strp time. This is essential when dealing with user input, log files, or external data sources that represent dates as text. If you need to do any kind of numerical or scientific computation, the math module is your best friend. From square roots to trigonometry and constants like p and e, math has it all. So let's start using it. Import math. It's our math library, and let's take the square root of 25. So print math.square root. It's written as sqrt25. And if you print it, you will get 5 as a result. You can use other functions too. Example, math.pow 5 raise it to the power of 2, and you will get 25. You can also call for constants from it. Print, in example, math.pi and math.e. If you run this, you will get pi and e as constants. You can also use trigonometric functions like math.sine.cos. Let's also see an example about it. Print math.sine, math.radians. But be careful about something here. Trigonometric functions like math.sine expects radians. So first we convert degrees to radians using math.radians. So let's convert 30 degrees to radians here and then provide it as a parameter. So if you type something like in example 90, you will get 1. So we can validate that. Now, another one is random library. It will help you to generate randomness, whether you are building games, simulations, or just want to randomly select something. It helps you to introduce chance and unpredictability into your programs. You can use it by importing random, and you can start to use its functions. The first one we will talk about here is random.randint. It will give you a random integer between the numbers you have specified. So print random.randint 1 and 10. Random integer between 1 and 10. If you run this, you will get 5 as a result. Let's run it again. 4. Run it again. 5. Run it again. 7. So it generates it randomly. It's great for dice rolls or random IDs in your programs. You can also use random to select one item randomly from a list. So let's define numbers equals 1, 2, 3, list of numbers here, and let's randomly choose something from here. Random dot choice numbers, and let's comment it. It selected 2, 3, 1, and it changed randomly, as you can see. You can also shuffle the list. Instead of using choice, just type shuffle, and And if you print it in this way, it won't print anything because it's an in-place function, random.shuffle numbers. And after that, you can now print numbers again. 2, comma 1, comma 3 instead of 1, comma 2, comma 3, which is original. You can also generate floats. So let's delete this all. Generate random floats. You have to do is random. It will just give you a float between 0 and 1. So if you print it 0 0.3, 0 0.1, etc. As the last one in this tutorial, let's also talk about JSON module, which is crucial when you are dealing with APIs, saving data or sending information between different parts of a system. Let's type import JSON and define a sample data. Data equals, you define a dictionary, it's similar, name, Jim, age. So it's our data, and let's convert it to JSON to send it somewhere. JSON str equals, you will use JSON dot dumps in order to convert it into a JSON string. Let's use dumps data. Let's print our JSON str. You can see it's now converted to JSON str, so you can send it, in example, to a web service. You can also convert it back to a Python dictionary, so you cannot access its elements like this. Let's try. Must be integers, but you can reload it back json.loads. So let's type data equals json.loads json str. And let's print example data name. As you can see, it prints Jim. So we have restored our data. You can also use load and dump functions with file operations in order to read JSON files and write to JSON files. In example, you can acquire the data using json.load and you can write it using json.dump. And that wraps it up. We just explored 5 powerful Python libraries: OS, datetime, math, random, and JSON, with several practical examples each. These libraries form the foundation of many real-world Python applications, so getting comfortable with them is a huge step forward. There are also many functions that are waiting for you to explore them, so do not leave it up here and also try to use them too. We couldn't cover all of them in this short tutorial video, but you can certainly try them out. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to support us. Thank you for watching.